answer the question. What are you?
A map maker, sir.
Oh, a map maker. Well, you and I are going to change the world.
So, first of all, I would like to know if you knew about the books before coming to the show, and if you did, what was your impression on them before?
I'd heard of the books before, because before becoming an actor, I used to work as a teaching assistant, and the students I had were all teenagers, and I knew that lots of them were fans of the books, so I knew how popular they were. And then during the audition process, I started reading them, and it turns out a friend of mine had read Six of Crows and absolutely loved them. So yeah, I was aware of. I don't think I've realized how huge the books were, and how popular, but I could totally see why as soon as I started reading them.
I hadn't heard of them before I got the audition, and I've sort of scrambling around to sort of read it and find out about the show and my character as much as possible.
And I hadn't heard of the books before. I actually read a couple of the scripts before I read the books, but I was sort of so excited to. They wouldn't send me more than a couple of the scripts, and I couldn't wait till we were going to be on set filming to get the rest of the story. So I had to go to the books, and then I found myself just totally just imbued in this world.
And how was your first approach to your characters, your first impression on them?
I loved Alina. She was just so strong, but also, sort of very gentle, and she wasn't aggressive. And I really liked that about the character.
Yeah, there was something kind of familiar about Mal. Like, I think myself and him, there was like similarities, but Mal on like a much larger scale in terms of like his determination and his grit and his heart and courage. Is something that really spoke to me, and something that I would quite like to try and have a bit more of in my own life.
And with my character, I think it was interesting because the books are all sort of first person perspective, so you experience this man only through the way that Alina sees him, and I think she's sort of beguiled by him at first, and then finds him a bit of a mystery. This sort of powerful mystery, and then obviously starts to feel a different way about him as the story goes on. But it was, for me, an interesting challenge to try and humanize him and find what are the ways that he's not described in the book. How he's sort of described as isolated, so that to me implies that he's lonely, and if he's lonely, what has he been through to put him there? He might be the most powerful man in this universe, and he might be revered by some people and feared by others, but what is it like to be in his head? And that to me was sort of the interesting part of taking a character who some people might see as sort of irredeemable in his behavior, but somebody has to play the person that somebody has to provide an antagonist.
Jessie, how was it for you to have the chance to play a female lead in such a strong character? Nowadays that we have a lot of female protagonists, but it's something that society is demanding all the time.
I really love all the female characters in this show because they're real. They feel like real people to me. Alina especially, she starts off quite weak, and she's got flaws, and she's got hopes and dreams and relationships, and she feels like a very whole, multifaceted person, which is just realistic. She's like your friend or your sister, that real woman that in life, and not just a two-dimensional portrayal of someone.
The show has a great message about the possibility of changing a world that is dark, that is closing with shadows. So given the situation that we live in worldwide right now, if you could have one power that could change the world, it could be something simple, but what it would be, what would you think you would give to change the world?
I've got a quick relief power, which is just I can just produce unlimited amounts of vaccines for everything instantly, and they work perfectly.
I was thinking about, we were asked if we could be any type of Grisha, and I know you've asked about anything, but I was thinking about the heart renders and how they kind of can use their power in this malevolent way to like stop someone's heart or make them pass out or find out if they're lying, but they can also soothe and calm. And you have these moments in the show where they kind of slow someone's heartbeat and allow them to sort of speak their truth.
I know Ben has some experience in this, but how was it to be able to be part of a fantasy world?
From an actor's point of view, it's brilliant because you can just totally lose yourself in this world and just totally commit to being a character in this world, and that felt like incredible.
Yeah, and we all got to do things that we would never normally do. You know, you got to do kinds of, you know, action and stunts and green screen and monsters, and you know, it was just like playing, you know, so much of it was like really playing, and then it was a lot of fun.